Week 1 scores and upsets. The Bellecinos Player of the Week, Anthony Church of the Hurley Rebels, will sit in tonight. Big talk, locals on the college gridiron. The top 5, find out who dropped out, who jumped in. Richlands and Union is our game of the week. Stump the Crig, all of this and more tonight on After the Whistle. Gentlemen, welcome to episode 2 of After the Whistle. How's everybody doing?
We're doing great.
Good.
Great.
Great.
I believe I was perfect this week on the picks, guys.
Well, I missed one, but they were kind of, when I get to that, I'll explain why. Something got brought to my attention that I wasn't aware of.
Well, I'm not going to mention anything about my picks this week. But speaking of mentions, before we get started, we want to mention all of our sponsors. We'd like to thank Freedom Wireless, Bellecinos Pizza and Grinders, Grundy Auto Sales, Hurley IGA, Hurley Pharmacy, Express Print Pack and Ship, Hurley Community Pharmacy, CarQuest Auto Parts, Wooden Horse Grill, Buchanan Pharmacy Associates, Plaza Economy Drug, coming soon to the Grundy Plaza, Buchanan General Hospital, and Buchanan Therapy Services in the Grundy Plaza. All right, let's take a look at last week's games real quick and look at them. And
all right, let's get started here. From last week, we're going to go down the list real quick. We had Twin Valley at Jenkins. Big night for the Panthers. Big night. I think the score was 54-18. Panthers had no problem with Jenkins. Talked with a couple people, said they started early and ended late, and it was bad for the Jenkins Kentuckians.
Well, you know what it was? On Twin Valley 8 here at Bellecinos on Friday. That was honest.
They
put up 54 points. So
they did.
All you teams that's passing through Grundy, Virginia, come to play Grundy, Hurley, stop by Bellecinos and do your pregame meal.
Now, what you just did there was you just subscribed a victory for the opponents of a county team. But if the county teams come here and eat, that could be the greatest game that ever happened.
Yeah, they'd still be playing.
You're right.
They'd still be playing.
Montcalm comes here Friday night and eats before the game, and Twin Valley does too. The game may never end.
Yeah. A couple things from the Twin Valley game. You had quarterback Tyler King had a great game, and running back Brandon Lester. Both had big games for the Twin Valley Panthers on their way to a big win of 54-18. All right, next game, Hurley at Rye Cove. Hurley comes out with a victory, 18-7. Talked to a few people, said Hurley controlled the game, the whole game, had a couple drives of 7 minutes. Really good game for first-year coach Anthony Church, and come out with his first win.
Well, we've talked all year. That's going to be Hurley's style play this year. Is run the ball 4 and 5 yards a pop and milking the clock. So playing good defense, and that's what they're going to have to do. And, like I said, they got 2 or 3 capable backs that can give you 4 or 5 here, and it was just all around a great effort. I think by the new quarterback Chad Justice. I think he was 4 for 105 yards maybe, and tight end Taylor Justice had a good game for him. And all 3 backs had a really good game. So, like I said, it's a big win for Coach Church and his first head coaching win. So, big game for him.
Hurley took I think it's 12-7 halftime lead and pretty much dominated the game to go in 12-7 at halftime. Even though you're dominating the game with that style of play, there's still a lot of tension, and I can imagine first-year coach, what kind of tension it is. You think you're doing everything right, but you're only up 5. How you handle that?
Yeah. Also, we think, like you said, it was 12-7 at halftime, and new defense coordinator, young guy Tyler Justice, pitched a shutout in the second half. So that was a good plus for the Hurley Rebels.
That's key to a good coaching staff putting things together too, being able to make good solid adjustments at halftime. Sounds like defensively the entire game they did well, and offensively they played keep away and just grounded it out.
Right. Like I said, that's the type of style they're going to have to play this year, and I think you're going to see a lot of tight ball games with them, 18-7, 12-6. I think that's their style, and as long as they play good defense and play keep away, they're going to be fine. Like I said, I think they're going to sneak up on some people towards the end of the season.
If you don't have the ball, you can't score. All right. All right, next game, our game of the week last week, Ridgeview at Grundy. And guys, Ridgeview came out early and I think, set the tone up front and pretty much had their way there, and it was kind of, I mean, like I said, Ridgeview's pretty good. That's why we have them at #1 in AA in the area. They proved that Friday, and I think the final score ended up being 47-12. Grundy had a couple bright spots there with Gabe Visor breaking a couple runs, and Derek Endicott threw a couple passes to Jacob McCoy that looked pretty well. But guys, Ridgeview.
I'm still drinking that Ridgeview
Yeah.
right now. Like I said,
On that paper, they showed on that field. It was like on that paper. They played good.
Well, just like you said before we left the other night, last week, on paper, Ridgeview wins that game. Well, they won it on the field too.
They did.
They showed what they had.
And you know, that was a tough. I mean, boys, Ridgeview's they're pretty good. But Grundy still has the athletes. They're going to be fine this year.
Oh yeah.
It's not the end of the world for them.
That's right.
They're in 1A. They're going to be at the top of 1A. They just had a monster this week, and everybody knew what Ridgeview was going to be. You know, all the hype before the season. They got a couple transfer kids that helped them. They had the Trenton Atkins, the back that's getting all the offers. Like I said, they just had a lot of weapons, and Grundy just didn't have no answer for them. And I think one key thing for Grundy is they're going to have to find a complement to Gabe Visor, and as good as a back as he is, you know, he's one of the best in the area. But
He did have McNutt last year.
he had Jacob McNutt last year to take a little bit of the pressure off of him. That's what Grundy's going to have to find this year. And it may have to be Endicott carrying the ball some. It may have to be Endicott throwing. But they're going to have to find a complement to him. And that's the same thing that Ridgeview done. Look at the two backs they have. They complement each other well. So, and it takes the pressure off. But like I said, Grundy's still going to be up there in 1A, and they're going to get better each week.
Next game, Richlands was at Gate City, guys, and I think it was 42-7, and that Gate City scored at the end of the ball game, and looks like it's going to be another long, long year for the Gate City Blue Devils, and there's just not much to say. Richlands came out, dominated the whole entire game, and
Well, I don't necessarily think it's going to be a long year because, I mean, they lost to a pretty daggone good football team. I'd seen them earlier, and I think they're going to be right back at the top of 2A this year because they're pretty daggone good from what I've seen in 7-on-7. And like I said, they did handle Gate City well, but I look for Gate City to be much improved from what they were last year.
I think the issue Gate City is going to have to deal with is the fact that, you know, the last year they had a terrible season as far as wins and losses go, and then start the season off with this type of defeat is going to be very demoralizing to these players, and the question is going to be how do they rebound from this because they can allow it, you know, to get them down mentally, and that's an issue that the coaching staff's going to have to handle.
and that's true. You're talking, and this week we're going to get into it. They play at Abingdon. They play at Abingdon. I know Abingdon graduated some people, but that's a 3A school, and it's going to be another tough game for them. But Richlands won 42-7. All right. Next game was Eastside at Central, where Central took home the home win, 41-27. And like I said, our Coach Tester's son plays for Central, and we're going to let him talk a little bit about this game because he was at the game.
Well, I was there, and I was actually pretty surprised with both teams. I thought both teams played well. Eastside was really impressive. You know, I remember playing them in the first round last year. I thought they'd be a little bit down, but, you know, the quarterback's really good, control the ball, and they had a couple capable backs that they got in there and gave Wise some problems. But I thought Wise came out and played a lot better than they have been in the scrimmages. Like I said, they got a lot of young kids, but the quarterback threw the ball really well, and I think that was a difference for them. They had a couple good receivers that went up and made some 50-50 catches for them, and just made some plays. And like I said, it was a back-and-forth game, but Wise pulled it out, and it was a really exciting game to watch. But it was a good win for Luke Owens and his club.
Yeah. Question. How did it feel to sit in the stands and watch your son play?
Oh, it felt awesome.
I say it did. I say it was a good feeling. I don't want you to critique him on here because I'd like for him to keep playing football because I know how hard you're going to be on him. But I'm sure he played well. Well, let's get through these games. Abingdon at John Battle. Abingdon had no problem. I think it's here. I seen 34-8 Abingdon. All right, Virginia High at Tazewell.
That was a good game.
Virginia High got up early, and Tazewell stormed back, and let me find this score here.
37-30, I think it was.
37-30 final. Virginia High won. Bluefield, this is one I lost. Bluefield, West Virginia at Graham. Looked like Bluefield dominated the whole game on the scores that I was getting. And I don't know the final on that. If I have it. 38-14 Bluefield. And guys, I got to retract some of the things I said last week about Snake Palmer. He is not the defensive coordinator at Graham. That's my fault. I just took it like he's coaching there, and he was. I apologize to the Graham's coaching staff or whoever the defense coordinator is. I just assumed that was my fault, but Snake Palmer's a great coach. They're glad to have him on there, and
He's still Snake Palmer.
he's still Snake Palmer. He's still Snake Palmer.
Having said that, Graham, I mean, they still got a really good football team, but
yeah.
they tackled a different monster this week with Bluefield, and everybody knows what the athletes Bluefield's got. And as I told you last week, I don't think coaching had a big thing to do with this game. I think it's all about the Jimmies and the Joes on this one, and Bluefield sure hasn't.
All right, next game was Lebanon at Honeacre. Another barn burner, great game. Honeacre, I think, wins in the last couple minutes. Somebody said, but Honeacre come out with the win, and I think that was the Coal Bowl. And let's see if I can find a score here real quick.
I think it was 35-28.
Right there, 35 Honeacre, 28 Lebanon. All right, Castlewood at Patrick Henry. Looked like Coach Palmer jumped out early and didn't look back. Patrick Henry wins 37-8. And Northwood at Twin Springs. Guys, it surprised me. I watched Northwood play. Don't know how it was. I'm looking at this score. Northwood 41, Twin Springs 30. Twin Springs scoring 30 points. That's a good thing for Twin Springs.
I do. I think the new coach up there do well. Keith Warner, I think he'll do well. And Northwood had a pretty good football team, so for Twin Springs, to put 30 on them, that's pretty good by them. I think it's an improvement from last year.
All right, that takes care of all the games last week that we're covering. Now it's time for a Big Talk segment. Big Talk segment is brought to you each week at this time by the Wooden Horse Grill, located in Hurley, Virginia. Wooden Horse Grill is open Sunday through Thursday, 11 to 9, open Friday and Saturday, 11 to 10. The Wooden Horse Grill. They got home-cooked meals, smoked and grilled steaks, ribs, and more on the weekends. And they're open late after ball games. If you ever went there and ate and need to, they got food that'll make your tongue want to slap your brains out. All right. Big Talk topic this week, local athletes playing in college. Guys, we got a lot of those as well.
Yeah, one brought to mind, he played for me at Twin Valley for 4 years. He was our kicker. Never seen anybody work as hard as this cat did. Drake Presley, he plays for Bluefield College. Him kicking the ball won us his senior year 2 or 3 games, pinning people back, punting and kicking off. He's had, I think this is his senior year at Bluefield, if I'm not mistaken. I'm hoping that's right, but if it's not, that's good for him. But I think he's doing real well there. I've talked to Dewey a couple of times. He's punting the ball great. He's the starting punter. I don't think he's kicking off or anything right now, but he is playing. He is their starting punter, and I got to watch him play last year. And guys, he's grown almost 4 inches and kicking it 20, 30 yards further. But
big kid.
Yeah, congratulations, Drake. Keep up the hard work. We're keeping up with you. We're proud of you.
Local boy does good.
Yeah, local boy does good. Getting an education and playing football.
Amen. Who else
we got Brady Justice.
Brady
Greg, tell us on him.
Well, everybody around here probably knows Brady. Brady, for me, had back-to-back 2,000-yard rushing seasons, and probably one of the best backs in Southwest Virginia. He had a great freshman year up at Emory and Henry College. I think he rushed for 600 yards up there last year as a freshman, and they was expecting some big things out of him this year, and I think he was going to do some big things this year up there at Emory. Unfortunately, in spring ball, he had tore his ACL, so that's just kind of a gut-wrenching thing for a young guy like Brady. It's up there trying to prove himself, but I think he'll bounce back from this. He's been doing his rehab and been doing what he needs to do, and I think he'll get back up there and take this year off and be a little hungry and get back out there and do what he's been doing.